I tried in vain to move. No. That is not a good idea. No. Hello again. What? Could you use this towel?
I could, but it wouldn't be much.
I'll see you later. I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. The towel was soaked through with water. The towel was already as wet as it was going to get. The towel was soaked through with water. The towel was already as wet as it was going to get. I tried to pull the lever, but it wouldn't move with the trap door open. It was the barman's flashlight. It was a large blue gemstone.
No!
Nico?
Who is this?
It's me. Are you okay?
Yes,
Well, take...
yeah. Any signs of...
Yeah.
What? Did he see you?
He came back and talked to me.
Oh, you're crazy, George. The killer knows who you are.
Relax. It wasn't me he was after. It was Peagram's gem.
No!
Hello.
What now?
This is the gem that Peagram found in the castle.
So that's what all the fuss was about. I can't see why myself. Why men would fight and steal and kill over a little bauble like that.
Well, it's kind of neat the way it sparkles. This is the gem.
And that's where...
What do you think of my
Those electric lamps are useful but limited in... I was given one from...
Oh, the battery was probably drained.
What? Nobody told me. I threw it away.
Do you have any use for this towel?
I suppose I could squeeze it out into my glass if I was desperate enough.
No! Careful!
I gotta go. Excuse me.
No!
Yes, sir?
Careful!
Does this gem mean anything to you?
Phew. What a beauty. I bet you wish that was real, don't you?
I found your flashlight.
So I see. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
I found your flashlight.
So I see. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
May I borrow this towel?
You can keep it.
Thanks. Hey,
No!
do you recognize this gem?
Saints be praised. It must be worth a fortune.
Maybe it is. Have you seen it before? It's the one which Pegram took from the dig.
No!
Oh,
Careful!
how come you've got it now?
He left it behind. I'm looking after it.
Oh. You could take that to Dublin and sell it.
What do you think of this flashlight?
It's not very bright, is it?
I could say the same about some of
That's true. Don't let him hear you. Keep it under your hat, mister.
That flashlight, like your brain died, is not switched on.
I don't think he...
Bye for now. Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
What now?
Do you recognize...
Ah, that's a beautiful stone. Is it the one which Pegram found?
And the reason why both he and Fitzgerald have disappeared.
Then it's only a matter of time before you vanish too.
What do you think of this flash?
It's not a very practical piece of equipment, is it?
It's not switched on.
I'm referring to the lack of... How would you be fixing that to your bicycle?
I don't have a bicycle. Did I show you this towel?
Yes, you did.
Goodbye for now.
Ah, good riddance to you.
No! Careful!
It was a calendar with a faded photograph of a prize-winning carp. It was a bunch of cleaning materials. It was a bunch of cleaning materials. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping. It was a rusty faucet. The slow drip of water barely dampened the towel. The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping. It was an empty carton which had once contained caustic soda. It was an empty carton which had once contained caustic soda. The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water. I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. The towel was soaked through with water. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
I found your flashlight.
So I see it. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
Thanks. Hey, McGuire.
What do you want to know?
What do you think of my flashlight?
It's a torch. That's what we call it on this side of the Atlantic.
What do you make of this, kid?
Hey, that's one of Leary's towels. He'll skin you alive.
That old windbag doesn't scare me.
You're pretty cool, mister.
Want a closer look at the gem, McGuire?
No, I don't. Jewels is for girls. You'd better hide that, mister. What if the pixie comes back? You'll be in trouble then.
I don't believe in pixies. Underneath that costume is a psychotic killer.
Smart.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
I took hold of the grating and pulled hard, but it didn't move. Hello.
What now?
Did I show you my...
Indeed you did.
This is the gem.
And that's where it belongs.
Do you have any use for this towel?
I suppose I could squeeze it out into my glass if I was desperate enough.
Do you have any use for this towel?
I suppose I could squeeze it out into my glass if I was desperate enough.
I gotta go. I looked at the plug I'd fixed. It was an electric pump operated by pushing a small lever. I tried to pull the lever, but it wouldn't move with the trap door open. I looked among the cleaning materials, but saw nothing I could use. No. The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water. It was a rusty faucet. I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. It was a calendar with a faded photograph of a prize-winning carp. It was an empty carton which had once contained caustic soda. No. Hello again.
What?
Could you use this towel?
I could.
Hello again.
What?
What does this gem mean?
Well, well. Would you look at that? Pretty.
Do you recognize it?
No.
Hello again.
What?
What do you think of this flashlight?
Very useful. That could be very handy in the dark. How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale. It belongs to Leary. I tugged at the lifting key and found it was held quite securely. Hey, Billy! The goat responded with a cool and penetrating stare. Behind the altar was a carved panel decorated with animals, birds, and plants. I reached into the sack. The only object on the table which interested me It was a statue which had fallen from its place on the wall, 5 fingers of stone projected from the back of the carving. The patch of sand where the statue had fallen was covered with a dense sprinkling of plaster. I squeezed the towel as hard as I could, but it was barely damp. I tried in vain to move the panel. That is not a good idea. There was a pattern of 5 holes arranged on the wall. They'd been drilled there deliberately. The gates were made of solid, age-blackened wood. Pushing with all my strength got me nowhere. They didn't budge. I really need to... It wasn't my nerves that stopped me jumping. It was an electric pump operated by pushing a small lever. Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
I found your flashlight.
So I see. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
Thanks. I searched the trash, but there was nothing useful there. I looked among the cleaning materials, but saw nothing I could use. I looked among the... I held the towel and... The towel was already as wet as it was going to get. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping. The towel was soaked through with water. Hello again.
What?
Could you use this towel?
I could, but it wouldn't be much use for anything else.
I'll see you later. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
May I borrow this towel?
You can keep it.
I found your flashlight.
So I see. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
Thanks. It was an electric pump operated by pushing a small lever. It was an electric pump operated by pushing a small lever. Hey!
Hello there again, mister.
What do you think of this towel?
Now, there's a fine piece of cloth if ever I did see one. Such craft must surely come from linen cupboards of the Vatican itself.
I found it on the bar under your elbow.
I thought it looked familiar.
What do you think of this flag?
You showed me before, mister.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, you showed me before.
Do you recognize this white powder?
No, I don't.
May I shake your hand?
No, you can't.
Well, how come?
Because I'll spill me beer if you do.
Bye for now. He wasn't listening. Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
What now?
Did I show you this towel?
Yes, you did.
What do you think of this?
I've told you already.
What do you make of this white?
Could it be bicarbonate of soda?
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, no, you don't.
Goodbye for now.
Good riddance to you.
Hello.
What now?
Do you have any use for this towel?
I suppose I could squeeze it out into my glass if I was desperate enough.
come on. Forget your prejudice and shake hands.
Never. It's not natural.
Do you recognize this white powder?
Seems ordinary enough to me.
I gotta go. The towel had dried out and was barely damp. The towel had dried out and was barely damp. The faucet creaked. I held the towel under the faucet and the towel was already as wet as it was going to get. The towel was already as The towel was already as wet. It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers. It was the shake and shock buzzer I'd been given by the man in the costume shop. It was a handful of plaster left in the castle by Pegram's archaeology team. The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words, Club Alamut. It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. It was a large blue gemstone. It was the barman's flashlight. It was Nico's photograph of the man we suspected of killing Plantar. It was a bright red plastic nose, part of a clown's costume. The towel had dried out and was barely damp. The towel had dried out and was barely damp. He wasn't listening. He wasn't listening. He wasn't listening. He wasn't listening. It was an electric pump operated by pushing a small lever. I was about to reach for the pump when I came to my senses. A rash move like that in a strange country with strange customs could be my last. No point in phoning that guy again.
Hello?
Nico?
Who is this?
It's me. Are you okay?
Yes,
Well, take care.
yeah. Any signs of a friend?
Yeah, he turned up dressed as a pixie.
What?
He came back and talked to me.
Oh, you're crazy, George. The killer knows who you are.
Relax. It wasn't me he was after. It was... It was the barman's flashlight. The towel had dried out and was barely damp. I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. The towel was already as wet as it was going to get. The towel was already as wet as it was going to get. The towel was already as wet as it was going to get.
No! Careful!
The towel was soaked through with water.
No! Careful!
The plastic cover had been smashed by the Pixie's car, revealing a switch. It was impossible to return the switch to its original position. The towel was soaked through with water. The towel had dried out and was barely damp.
No! Careful!
I held the towel. The towel was already as wet as it was going to get. The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue. The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.